register, and the form. I don't need actually. And inside form, I have an input. Type is text. Let me also have a placeholder here. Just for the email. Right, let's change the type to email as well. And another input. This is for the type is password. And the placeholder is just enter your password. Right. Enter email and something like this. And then we also let's also create another input that's for type is also password, and placeholder is so verify your password. Right, so just a normal form has 3 input. As well, let's create a button here. So let's create a button, and it just says submit. Okay, so this is just a very easy form. It has a email, has a password, has a verified password, and submit. We can make it like a vertically by just adding some BR here. We can just separate them into different lines. Right. Right. So we have enter email, enter password, password. This is the normal form. Right. So let's do the first step. Like when the user start typing. Right. So now the form doesn't really do anything. Like when you type something, we're not catching them. Right. The first thing is we're going to think about whatever user type, we need to record them, because we need to record the new username user want to create and the new password user trying to create. This is the first step to catch the user input. Right. So the way we do it, we go if you're checking the WebMaker, you will notice we are actually use state to create some state to catch the user's input, right? To store the user input. So we can create a variable constant. It has we call it for example email, right? And we have set email is that used to change the value of the email, right? So use state and give a default value empty string. Right, we're gonna do the same thing for the password and the set password. And let's say I have a password 2, which is for the verified password, and set password 2. Right, that's variables. We're going to store the user inputs into these variables. Right, the first one, we're gonna say for this one, we're gonna have a on change. Right, so when the user changes the value of the email, right? So when they're typing, when they are typing in the input, they basically change the value of it. And what we want to do here is run a function to call the set email and set the email into the e.target value. Right, so the email is set into e.target value. The e.target, if you console log that out, you'll notice that's just going to be the current input user are typing into. Right, and the current input, the value, this is what the user are typing here. Right, that's going to be saved inside. It's going to be saved in the email. Right, you can also see the value of this one is equals to the email. Right. Same thing. We're gonna do the same thing for the password. So the unchange and the e set password equals to e.target value. Right. So a bit long. Let's say, and the value equals to the password. Right. Next one. This one is a password 2. So let's do unchange e set password to is the target the value. Right. So if you check the check the webmaker, you see all the forms are handled in this way as first step to getting what the user entered. Right, what the user entered, we actually catch them, store them in those three variables: email, password, and password 2. That's first step. Right. You can imagine like when the user start typing, everything what they type, we record them. Right. I cannot enter this one. Something wrong with it. Let me see. What's wrong with this? Change should be capitalized C. Right. This is telling me in the console. Right. So now I can type. Right. So once that's done, we can think about the next step. Right. So once the user enters their username and password, what they want to do, they will hit submit. Right. They will try to submit it. Right. It has to be email. Right. They will try to submit it. When they click submit, something gonna happen. Right. So we're gonna handle that submit. Right. Which is first thing which handles unchange. When things change, we want to record what changed, and then we're gonna handle submit. When the user click on the submit button, we need to submit the form. Right, that's basically all thing you need to do on the client side. So let's see how we handle the submit. Right. So that's actually very easy. So we're gonna create a function. Right. When the form submitted, I want to call that function. So you can give any name to the function. So I usually just gonna call it the handle submit. Right. And it equals to a function, takes e and do something here. Right. The first thing we're gonna always give here is e.prevent default. So what this does, it's just gonna cancel all the default actions when you submit the form, which is gonna reload the page. We don't want it to reload the page. We're just gonna take the full control of the form by ourselves. So we're gonna prevent it from the reloading. Right. We're gonna cancel that, cancel reloading, and then you can do whatever you want. For example, I'm gonna cancel the log, the email, right, what email user entered, and what password user entered, and the password too. Just want to make sure we successfully stored them to a test. Right. Again, you can see here is the color of the function. It says handle submit is declared, but its value is never used, never read. We haven't used that before yet. I haven't used that yet. So we're gonna put that into the form. So on the form tag, we're gonna say on submit. When the form is submitted, we want to call this function handle submit. Right? When we try to submit the form, we call this function handle submit. I hope that makes sense. So let's go to the page. Let me just make this one bigger so you can see. So when I type email, for example, shiyu@gmail.com, password 123, verify password 123. If I hit submit, it's going to go ahead and run the function and console log me my current email and those two passwords in the console. Right? You see, have the shiyu at gmail.com and the 123. Right? Whatever you entered, because unchange stores them in our variables, and when I submit it, just cancel them out. Right? That's all you need to do in the client side to catch the user input and help the user submit the form. Right? So in the submit form, you can basically do whatever you want. Right? In this case, the register form, we're gonna do two things. So first thing, what I want to do inside here is verify the two passwords are same. Right? Make sure the user enters the same passwords. What if it gives us the two different passwords? Then we may say like you may mistakenly enter something. Please double check about it. Right. So after you verify the passwords, then we just send request. Right. Send the user information Right, send the user what the user entered, send the information, send the request to the server. Right, send the request to the server. And the server will handle the rest and provide you a response. Right. So the server step will be for the client. It's just going to be waiting for response and just do whatever you want after you're getting the response. Right, waiting for response. To provide any other actions, so actions. Right, waiting for response, provide action. That's all you need to do on the client side. Right, so let's see how we're going to do that in the code, in coding, right? So again, inside this inside this handle submit function, we're not going to just console log stuff. We're going to send in a request, right? So before we send a request, as I said, we're going to verify the passwords are same. Right, first thing, so we check if the password not equals to the password 2. Right, the two passwords are not same. I'd like to do alert, showing alert to the user passwords are not match. Please check it, something like this. All right, and also I want to put a return inside here, which is going to stop the function. It won't do anything. Whatever I put after this this return won't be caught if we're getting to this situation. A return will stop the function. Right. So I can, if I put a console log here, says 1 2 3, and if I if I entered, oops, click on something. Right. So if I click put the email, put the password like 1 2 3 at 111111. Right, those two passwords that match. If I could submit, I'm gonna get an alert. Passwords are not matched. Please check it. And I don't get my console 1 2 3 here. I don't get my console 1 2 3 here. And if I enter the same password, like 1 2 3 1 2 3, submit. See, I don't get my alert, but I get in the console after it. Right, so now I did the first step. I check if the passwords are matched. And then once the passwords are matched, we are ready to send out the request. To send in a request, we're gonna use the library Axios. Right, we're gonna say that we're gonna import Axios from library Axios. Right, so we can do inside here. Right after the if, we say Axios the post. Right, when we're sending some, when we create a new user, we're gonna use create a new data. We're using post slash API slash users. User or users? I forgot. Let me check in the server file here. It should be user, right? Slash API slash user. Right. Also, I need to send in the sending an object contains the data I want. Right. The object I can put it here. It has a username. Has an email equals to the email I gave. It has a password equal to the password I gave it. Right. And as I said, if the for in the object, if the key and the values are the same thing, we can just say email. Key and value are the same thing, and just say password. Right, just for shorter, you can see this format a lot. And with the object with email and password, send this to the server. The server will handle the rest. Right, send the request. And again, every time when you send a request, we're going to use an async and await. We want waiting for the the submission is finished, then we do the next step. I want to do that first. Just send that to the server, and then do the next step. And also on the constant res equal to that. So response, right? Or can you see response? Right. So we're waiting for a response coming from this request. It could give us a response, and according to that response, we can do whatever I want afterwards. That's all you need to do in the client side. And then let's also go ahead and go to the server side. So the server side, right? So it's just very simple. As the server side, the first thing the server side getting caught is it's a receiver request from client. Right, it's gonna receive a request from the client, and we just trying to match the /API/user in our routes, looking for which routes match this request. Once we found the route, all it does is just run a function inside that. As you want, like to do whatever you want to do in that function, just put it there. Like for example, in this case, once we receive that request, we want to store the username and password in the database, and then give back a response. That's it. All right, that's it. So you can do whatever you want in the function, but it's just basically the way it works is server receive a request and looking for which route matches this request. If none of them match, the server going to give you an error. An error going to be 404, cannot find a route for this. If it found it, it's just going to go ahead and run the functions for you. Right? So remember this path here is /API/user. So we go to the server side. All right, let me just close the client folder. The server.js here. All right, so it's /API/user, so it's gonna go to this file, right? This is as the server.js is. This is an entry point for the server. It's gonna go to the /routes/user file. We'll go to the routes/user.js. Right. Right now we only have a /login, and let's create the one for the register. So let me just put it here. Right. So register. So it's gonna be router dot post. Or remember that was a post /API. I don't need to place the /API/user because it's already mentioned in the server.js /API/user. Inside here I can just say the slash. Just say there's nothing afterwards. And I can run a function, takes a request and a response, and just run the function. Right. So whatever you put in this function, it's gonna get caught inside the function. Whatever you put here is gonna be caught. For example, I can do a console.log request body. Right, that's gonna be what you send in the request. It's gonna be the email and the password. That's going to be email and password. So we can try it out. So if I try to send out email and password, for example, email is shiyu3169@gmail.com. Password is msymbol. Right, let's try to submit. Right. So the server-side console will be available in the terminal. Right, you can see it here. It says email, right, shiyu3169@gmail.com, password msymbol. Right, if you cannot see, I can make it bigger. Right, so this is email, shiyu3169@gmail.com, password msymbol. Right, that's what's printed out inside here. And what we did is just console.log request body. All right. Right, and again, as we said, we can do whatever we want here. So in this case, we are going to do a few things. We can just go ahead check how we did it in the WebMaker, because I actually kind of forgot it. So we need to encrypt the password. We need to do a few things. So let me check the WebMaker. You can also just check the old project you did. Open with code. We need to generate token and do encrypt password, things like that. Here, create new user. A few things we want to do. What we want to do is cast the new user. Is you go to create a new user based on the request body, and create a sort and hash used to encrypt password, and the JWT sign in. Basically, you can just copy the whole thing. Right? You just copy the whole thing. It's basically the same. Just all the functions. You can see okay, the register and the login. Those functions are just basically common for other applications. So if you just have done it once, you can just always come back to copy it. And you just paste it here, and it's going to be just slash. Right. Other things, none of them need to be changed. You don't have to change anything. So that goes through the whole process, which is just firstly, we create a new user, we create a sort and use that to hash the password. That means that just means to
Sort is just used to hash password, which also means to just encrypt the password. First, we call the bcrypt gene sort. It's going to generate a sort for us. Right. As I said, the number here, the larger the number, the safer your password. But it also means the longer it takes to encrypt it. And then we do the bcrypt hash. Right. Just encrypt it. And then we update the password equal to the hashed version of password. And then store that in the password, store that in the database. Once we store it, we using the JSON Web Token to sign the user in and also provide you a token. And then we store that token in the give that token back to the client and give the user information back to the client. And the JSON going to give back a response. Right, I'm not going to go to go over this again, because if you check the previous video, we already do this step by step. But this is how it goes. Just encrypt the password, sign it in, and give the response. User and the token. All right, so let's go back to the client. And that's it for the server side. Let's go back to the client, or just a file. All right, this file. Remember, in the constant response, we should have all the responses we have. Let's console log that out, see what we received from the server. Console log this out response. Right, let's just call it res, just make it for shorter. Right, don't have to see the whole response, just res. So shorten name. Let's console log that out, see what we received. Right. So let's do shiuser169@gmail.com. Enter the password. So msymbol for a password. msymbol. Submit. Right. So this is a response we received. Right, so it has a data status 200, status text okay, that means everything's good. If I check in what inside the data is what we, the actual data we send from the server. So it has a token, which we don't really care about. It's just a token we're gonna record it in the local storage. And in the user, say we generate the ID for it. We're using the email we provide and encrypted password. We'll call it hashed password. Right, something in something way you cannot understand it. Just don't have. You can just know that's an encrypted password, right? Right. So we receive what we want from the server, which is good, and then we can do anything we like to it. Right. So again, if you check the webmaker, you can notice what we did before. So here's webmaker. If you're checking the same component we did before, source components. User register. You can basically just copy from here. So what we did here, we're using the local storage to store the token, and then we navigate to another page. We can do the same thing, right? So we can do just copy the local storage, the say token, right? So it's gonna be local storage, the say token. Token is equal to res the data, the token. And then we can navigate to another page. That we can do history, the push, not push, just push, to the slash. In my case, I'm gonna push the dashboard slash and res the data, the user, the underscore ID. Right, user is in the user data, and we want to push it to the dashboard, its ID. Right, the history is not imported, so let's go ahead and import the history. We're gonna import use history from React router DOM, and we can see constant history is equal to use history, and now everything is done here. Right, nothing. That's it for the register. You can see the whole process. We catch user input, submit the form, and waiting for the server to provide a response. Whatever you want to do in the server, go ahead and go to the routes to create the function to do inside here. Right, store the either you want to encrypt the password, or either you just want to store the information in the database and then provide the response. Right. So let's say try that last time. So if enter email, for example, shiyu@gmail.com, password 222, virtual password 222, submit. See, we're in the dashboard right now. So this is, my dashboard just have a dashboard, nothing else. Right, and you can also see the ID the ID is actually provided here, right? So that slash dashboard slash the current user's ID in the URL path. Right, that's it for the register. It also works for any kind of form you want to submit. When you're trying to create a new product, create a new blog, when you're trying to edit something, you always need to catch what the user input and sending that as a request to a server. And the server will handle it and provide you a response. Alright, to handle it, use onClick. To submit a form, use onSubmit. Also, not onClick, onChange to handle the user change. And using onSubmit to handle the form submission. Right, so I'm going to stop the videos right now and let me know if you still have a question.